I'm ready for the biggest fight of my life, and it's not with regular opponents, but with no other than the world ranking of the WBA. Look, if they think I'm going to fold, they must be smoking some good shit. I've come too far. I've struggled too much in my life and starved one too many times in Cuba as a kid, eating only bread and water to stop now. I endured too much having to cross the dangerous waters of the Gulf to make it to the US for freedom, for me and my sick little girl to now get bullied by anyone. Look, boxing is a sport, not just a business, and it's not fair to me if they allow Joshua to get special treatment because someone is dishing out money. My team convinced me to let the WBA move on with the resolution because of lawsuits that were coming at Mendoza, so I agreed on the WBA terms, so they told me and the world that I was next no matter what the IBF was asking. Remember, I was the interim champ. The only reason for not fighting Ustinov was they didn't want to drug test, and that was in the bylaws of the WBA, so I was cleared by my attorneys. All I want is to be treated fair. I'm not asking for what's not mine. Those are the words of Luis Ortiz, aka the real King Kong. He is the #1 contender. Actually, no, he's the mandatory challenger for Anthony Joshua's WBA super version of the world heavyweight title. I've heard Eddie Hearn talk about this situation briefly in the past few days in 1 or 2 interviews. And he seemed to insinuate that they're going to get the WBA to get Ortiz to step aside or to allow Joshua to fight somebody else before he has to face Ortiz. This is what Hearn seems to be insinuating. But as you heard there from Ortiz, he says he ain't going to step aside. He ain't going to roll over. Nothing like that's going to happen. But money talks in this world, people. If Luis Ortiz is offered a couple million to wait his turn. I mean, he already has been waiting his turn, so, you know, let me just take that back. But if he's offered a couple million to wait a bit longer and get a guaranteed crack at the winner of Joshua's next fight, I'd be surprised if he don't do it. Because as I've said in previous videos, he'll essentially be getting paid twice for the same fight. Most mandatory challengers who are offered step-aside money usually take it. If you're going to get, let's say, a $1 million purse for fighting the champion, but the champion wants to fight somebody else first. So he's like, look, I'll pay you $1 million to step aside. And then when you do get your shot, you'll get paid $1 million as well. Would you take it or not? I mean, most people are going to take it, especially if you're a fighter who hasn't had a lot of big paydays in your career, as Luis Ortiz hasn't. So we'll see what he does, man. We'll see what he's offered. Drop your comments in the comment section below. And if you have any more links to articles regarding this situation or videos, then yeah, drop them in the comments too. All right, it's happening. I'm out.